A warm word of welcome to all. Thank you all for your auspicious presence in today's webinar. And a very warm welcome to the today's honorable speaker, Mrs. Sonia Mathur ma'am. Let me introduce myself to you all. I am Jita Maitreyi. I am pursuing my second year of BA LLB degree from the prestigious university, Sri Venkateswara University. Now, I would like to over to Princy Devi, who will speak about a respected guest of honor and eminent speaker, Sonia Mathur ma'am, a senior advocate designated by Delhi High Court in the year 2017. Over to you, Princey.
Thank you. Great good evening, ma'am. Myself, Princy Devi, and I'm pursuing BLV third year in Bhagat Phul Singh Mahila Vishwavidyalaya, Shonipat, Haryana. It's my privilege to take an opportunity to introduce the chief guest for the day. She is none other than Miss Sonia Mathur, a senior advocate designated by the Delhi High Court in 2017 with over 3 decades of experience as a lawyer apart from the Supreme Court of India and various high courts. She has also been representing clients at various other firms, high courts. She has also been representing clients at various other firms such as the specialized tribunals for income tax, competition tax law, consumer protection law. She was appointed as a special prosecutor for cases relating to 2G spectrum scheme before trial court, High Court, and Supreme Court. She was the standing counsel for Central Bureau of Investigation (CBI) and senior standing counsel for Income Tax Department before the Delhi High Court. She has master's degree in labor laws from University of Rajasthan as well as master's in taxation from the Washington School of Law. She is regularly invited to the National Law Judicial Academy, Bhopal, as a resource person for addressing special judge (CBI) judges presiding over motor accident claims tribunal and also for visiting judges from other countries. 4 cases argued by her as a CBI lawyer formed part of the completions prepared by Delhi High Court in 2011-12 to initiate contributions of Delhi High Court to the development of law. First, Asif Balwa versus CBI 2012. Second, Bimla Bhartwal versus State 2012, Ravinder Kumar Chandolia versus CBI 2012, and Sanjay Tripathi versus CBI 2012. She was part of the editorial team for the 11th edition of Kanga and Palkiwala on income tax. She has been appointed as a amicus curiae in that sentence cast by Supreme Court. She is also an elected senior member executive at the Supreme Court Bar Association. Thank you. Over to you, Jitha.
Thank you, Princey. It was a great hearing about Madam. So let's begin today's segment of today's topic of webinar. The theme is about honor killing. Before I invite our eminent speaker to speak about the topic, I would like to share a glance idea regarding today's topic. So honor killing is the murder of an individual, either by an outsider or a member of a family, by someone seeking to protect what they see as a dignity and honor of themselves or their family. Most often, it involves the murder of a woman or a man by either families due to the perpetrators' belief that the victim has brought dishonor or shame upon the family name, reputation, or prestige. Examples may be like premarital, extramarital, or postmarital sex in case of divorce or widowship. In many families, the honor motive is used by men as a pretext to restrict the rights of women. Now, I invite our guest of honor, eminent speaker, Mrs. Sonia Mathur ma'am, to speak about today's topic of honor killing. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you very much and good evening to everyone. And I'm very sorry to be talking about a dreadful topic like honor killing on a Saturday evening. But I'll try and make it a little lighter than what it sounds. So as it's already been told by her, the concept, I mean, what honor killing actually is. So I don't know if, can we share the screen, Kalyan? Is it possible? If we are not able to share the screen, then what I'll do is I'll mail my presentation to Kalyan and all of you can take the copies from him. Can you just check if we can share? Princey or Jita, one of you can just check with Kalyan if we can share the screen. We're not able to.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
I guess we are not able to. So that's all right. Then I'll mail the PPT to Kalyan. We are not able to, Kalyan. We can't share the screen, right?
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay. All right. No problem. We can't hear you. We can't hear you. You're mute.
Yes, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. It needs separate software, ma'am, but we don't have that software.
All right. Very well. So next
I will
time
share it.
onwards, please. Next time onwards,
Sure.
let's go back to the WebEx. I think that was better.
Yes, ma'am.
So my PPT, which is not seeing the light of the day, anyway, no problem. So it is. I'm going to talk about what honor killing actually means broadly in a layman concept, and also some of the judgment, judicial interpretation, and who are the victims of this offense, and also the areas and the territory where it is most
Ma'am,
oh,
we just share the screen, ma'am.
all right, we are there. So
You can take this.
okay, so and then the areas, which means the territories where it is more prominent, which surprisingly is not only India but even internationally, this offense is being carried out, and also then the reason as to why honor killing is done. There are social and emotional reasons, and also the role of local bodies such as Ka Panchayat, particularly in India, and also then the relevant statutory provisions, which I will just run through the slides, and since you already, Kalyan already has, you can see the slides. And then there are some cases which we've compiled for us to sort of broadly examine the issue. So can we go to the next slide? So as we've already been told while discussing while having the introduction, that it's generally the women who are the main victims. And why? Because they are considered to be repository of family owner, and they are considered as inferior to the men, and the men are supposed to be protecting the honor of the family, which is where the victims are usually women. But it is not that it is only confined to women, it also happens to men. Even men are sometimes victim of honor killing, particularly in interfaith marriages. Now, so this, okay, can we go to the next slide? I think we can skip the slides. I'll just read from, I'll just talk about everything for my slides, and then Kalyan can share with everyone. This will take a lot of time because after each slide, I'll have to tell Kalyan to please change it. So we'll forget the slides, Kalyan.
Okay.
Okay, so now what is the concept of honor killing? Kalyan can see the slides for himself. So he'll know where exactly I am. So mostly this honor killing is more prevalent in places which are rural, backward, or less developed areas. And the victims, as we've already said, that mostly they are women. Any women or any men for that matter, any individual, if attempts to marry a person of his or her choice, which is intercaste or interreligion, or refuses to accept family obligation, is necessarily a victim of honor killing. Now, so far as the areas, the countries where this crime is more prevalent are, I'll just quickly take the names: Bangladesh, Brazil, Ecuador, Egypt, India, Iran, Iraq, Israel, Italy, Jordan, Morocco, Pakistan, Sweden, Turkey, Uganda, and the United Kingdom, which came as a surprise to me, but United Kingdom also apparently has this crime. In India, the data which I have here is based on internet, so therefore it is of course subject to verification, that in 2016, as per the National Crime Records Bureau, there were 77 cases, and where the motive was, of course, honor killing, and they were registered as murder, culpable homicide not amounting to murder. Now, why this crime actually is committed? There are various reasons which are attributable to, like I said, broadly we can put them into the category of social, emotional, but on ground, if we see, one is, of course, faith and perception towards marriage outside community or similar gotra and other motives. Second is caste system, and there are certain privileges which are available to a particular strata, particular castes. So the fear of losing those privileges is also one reason. And then there is no structured legislation. And so far as that is concerned, I still believe that there is proper legislation. There are laws which can take care of a crime like this, but I think it's mainly the implementation, particularly in the rural areas, and apparently that is the reason that the rate is much more than in the developed cities and urban areas. And then there are, even for rural areas, formal bodies such as panchayat samitis or the legislative assembly are not there, and it is mainly these khap panchayats, etc. there who are like basically courts of caste lords, and they consider themselves to be custodian of honor. So and then there are then of course there is literacy and lack of awareness of rights, etc., and also constitutional rights to safeguard the protection. People are not aware. People are not aware that there are laws, there are constitutional safeguards to protect them from something like this. And then so far as the emotional aspect is concerned, the risk of losing reputation, the fear is that whatever reputation people have earned in a particular class of society, they would lose if something like this happens. And so therefore these are used as a justification for honor killing. Then I have spoken about khap panchayats. These, like I said, these are courts of caste lords, and mainly in rural areas of North India, there are khap panchayats are more prevalent, particularly Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, and Rajasthan. These are quasi-judicial bodies, and they pronounce extremely harsh punishments. I'll refer to some judgments also on this. Now, there are human rights laws. So, violence against women is internationally recognized, and there are international laws, international conventions which obligate states to protect women from gender-based violence. So, even today, honor is not a legal defense available for any act which is done against as a violence against women. Now, internationally, there are some conventions which are International Convention on Human Rights, which is of 1948. Then there are International Convention of Civil and Political Rights, which is of 1966. And then Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women. This is a convention of 1979. So this is the scenario so far as the international area is concerned. Now, so far as Indian scenario is concerned, a single statutory body which has been constituted to address this issue of honor killing is only the National Commission for Women. Although if we see the history and if we see the kind of work that NCW has done, it has really contributed remarkably in reduction of these kind of offences, particularly in rural areas. It's a very active body and doing a great job. So then there are certain provisions in the Indian law. I'll not go through each and every provision. Kalyan can share the PPT with you people. There are certain provisions under the Indian Penal Code. Like I said, that I really don't believe that there is any dearth of legislation. There are legislations. It is just the question is of implementation. So there are provisions under the Indian Penal Code which cover homicide, murder, and the other people who are like members of the Kha Panchayat or family members can also be booked for under the provisions of conspiracy, abetment, etc. Then there are some provision where even attempt is liable to be punished. Then of course criminal conspiracy and abetment, and section 34 and 35 of the Indian Penal Code, wherever the offences are committed by a group of people, several persons, in furtherance of a common intention. Then there are certain articles of our constitution which mandate and which guarantee certain rights to each and every citizen, which are such as Article 14, 15, 17, 19, 21, and then there are SC and ST Prevention of Atrocities Act of 1989. Now, this act is very frequently invoked because mostly the honor killings are in relation to caste and religion. Then there is this Protection of Human Rights Act of 1993, which again, there is a National Human Rights Commission, state human rights commissions, which are acting to guarantee better protection of human rights of individual citizens. Then Protection of Women from Domestic Violence Act of 2005. So far as this act is concerned, it may not really directly connect, but when we talk of female feticides, etc., then these are the offense. This act would cover the offences which are committed in the post marital scenario. And then there are certain case laws. The first case is this is Manoj and Bubbly. It's an internet procured judgment. So I will not really vouch for each and every correctness of each and every aspect of it. But this is by Karnal District Court, and this was in March 2010. In this case, there was this person, Manoj, the boy was 23 and the girl was 19. They had eloped and married in 2007, and then later their mutilated bodies were found in an irrigation canal. And in this case, life sentence was given to Kap head and 5 of the relatives who were responsible for committing the murder of both persons were given death penalty. Now, it is really, this judgment was hailed as a landmark judgment on honor killing. But unfortunately, I'm not aware of the appeal status as to what happened later on, whether the death sentence awarded was sustained or no. But the judge concerned in this case apparently has said, and at some places it is quoted, that she said that this court has gone through sleepless nights and tried to put itself in the shoes of the offenders. Khap panchayats have functioned contrary to the constitution, ridiculed it, and have become a law into themselves. So, subject to what has happened in the subsequent appeals, this judgment seems to be a very important judgment. Unfortunately, we couldn't find the reported journal. So then there is a Supreme Court judgment, which is State of UP versus Krishna Master and others. This is a criminal appeal number 1180 of 2004. This is a Supreme Court judgment. In this case also, the Supreme Court had awarded life sentence to 3 people who had caused death of 6 persons of a family in honor killing. in UP. This was, the incident was of 1991. And the High Court, Allahabad High Court, had reversed the acquittal. No, reversed the order. Yes, Supreme Court had reversed the order of acquittal by Allahabad High Court, where trial court had granted them death sentence. And the Supreme Court bench has observed that killing 6 persons and wiping out almost the entire family on the flimsy grounds of saving honor of the family would fall within the rarest of rare cases. The court did make these observations, but did not award death. It actually awarded life sentence to these people. Then there is a judgment of 2006, Lata Singh versus State of Uttar Pradesh, 2006, 5 SCC 475. This is the citation. Here also, Supreme Court has said that the honor killings are nothing but barbaric, cold-blooded murder, and no honor is involved in such killings. And the Supreme Court had dropped the criminal proceedings against husband and in-laws, but had gone to the extent of observing that intercaste and inter-religion marriages should be encouraged to strengthen the social fabric of society. So this is a judgment of 2006. So that's how there has been the progressive approach by the courts, which in turn has apparently influenced the social approach also. Is there anything that anyone wants to say? So the facts of this case were that the petitioner had left her brother's house and got married to a boy in Arya Samaj. A missing complaint was lodged by her brother, and then police arrested 2 sisters, cousin of husband of petitioner, and put them all in jail. So then, because this was an intercaste marriage, they went to the petitioner's husband's house and beat up their mother, uncle, and threw the luggage out and kept them locked in a room. And then this was, then the petitioner came before the court that she apprehended assault, humiliation, etc. And it was in that context that this judgment was passed by the Supreme Court. Then there is the Shakti Vahini versus Union of India. This is a very important judgment. This is of 2018, 7 SCC 192. In this case, court had issued notice to the central government and 9 states in the face of a rising of honor killing, and it wanted to inquire about the steps which are being taken by the states to curb this menace. And here, in this case, the court had expanded the definition of honor crime, and it held that the choice of individual is an extricable part of dignity under Article 19 and 21 of the Constitution. And it had issued detailed directions, which were preventive, remedial, and also punitive. And then it also banned unlawful assembly and directed that appropriate departmental proceedings should be taken against officials who are responsible, and also directed setting up of a 24-hour helpline numbers, etc. So this, in that sense, is a very, very important judgment, because these were the directions which became a mandate for the states to follow. Then there is this Vikas Yadav versus State of Uttar Pradesh. This is also quite a celebrated judgment. All of you must have heard about or read about it at some point of time. This is 2016, 9 SCC 541. In this case, what had happened was, deceased was Nitish Katara, and Bharti Yadav was the sister of Vikas Yadav, and they were in a relationship. And the only reason why Nitish Katara was killed in a very brutal manner was because he did not belong to the same caste, and his family was of service class. whereas and so therefore it was considered to be from the economically lower strata. And it was in that background, Nitish Katara was actually abducted from a wedding venue. He was abducted and then he was killed and burnt. So the accused were also charged for destruction of evidence in this case, apart from murder. So,
मैम
yes,
थोड़ा हिंदी में ट्रांसलेट कर दो।
I am so sorry. इस केस में मैडम एक्चुअली क्या हुआ था कि विकास यादव जो डिसीज था वो था नीतीश कटारा एंड भारती यादव थी इसकी विकास यादव की सिस्टर। आपने साइटेशन लिख लिया इस केस का 2016 9 SCC 541। इस केस में नीतीश कटारा और भारती यादव वर इन अ रिलेशनशिप एंड जो भारती यादव की फैमिली थी उसका सोचना ये था कि बिकॉज ये पॉलिटिकली स्ट्रॉन्ग फैमिली थी और नीतीश कटारा की फैमिली जो थी वो सर्विस क्लास थी, तो द बिलीफ वाज कि सर्विस क्लास है क्योंकि तो दे आर इकोनॉमिकली लोअर स्ट्रेटा, तो हमारी बहन का रिलेशनशिप इसके साथ नहीं हो सकता। तो दे मस्ट हैव ट्राइड और करा होगा और तरीकों से कन्विंस नहीं हुआ, तो एक शादी में से नीतीश कटारा को किडनैप करा, एब्डक्ट करा एंड ले जाके उसको मार दिया एंड देन दे बर्न्ट हिम, उसको जला दिया एंड एविडेंस को भी डिस्ट्रॉय कर दिया। सो इस केस में सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने बोला कि जो फ्रीडम और इंडिपेंडेंस है विमेन का, वो एक matter, that's all right.
Basically, we are from South India. Most of the participants from South India, so it is better to continue.
I'll try and maintain a balance. So, so therefore, the court said that freedom and independence of a woman cannot be violated by a self-assumed honor. I mean, this was some perception of some superiority that the family of the accused had. And then the court considered the fact that the crime was committed in a planned and cold-blooded manner with a motive, which was actually an outcome of a feeling of uncalled for and unwarranted superiority. And then now we see the latest judgments which have come. ये मैडम 2021 का केस है, छवि versus state of UP. In this case, this girl was a minor and she had married the accused out of her own will. She was so इसमें कोर्ट ने बोला कि she will एक state facility में, एक shelter home में she will stay till she attains the age of 18 years. And father kept insisting that she was 16 years of age, so therefore he lodged an FIR. But then she was seen in the company of one boy, and uska video was made viral. So एक additional FIR इसमें under section 66 of the Information Technology Act was also registered because a video of a minor in the company of a boy was made viral. फिर विक्टिम का स्टेटमेंट रिकॉर्ड किया था अंडर सेक्शन 164 CRPC, जिसमें कि उसने बोला she said that she had accompanied the accused out of her own free will and she married also him out of her own free will. So the High Court considered that since she is a minor, she cannot be sent to a matrimonial home because she's a minor when she's entered into a relationship, matrimony. But the court also said that she cannot be forced to live in a place where she fears danger to her. So therefore, the court directed that she be sent to an Nari Niketan till she attains the age of 18 years. And Child Welfare Committee was given the custody of this girl, and then the marriage was held to be voidable at the option of the victim because she apprehended honor killing, so therefore she was not given in the custody of the father. And then the court said that the moment she becomes 18 years, she'll be free to go wherever she wants. Then there was this case of March of 2022. This was a case of Gujarat. Lakshman Bhai, Barbar Bhai Rabdi versus State of Gujarat. इसका मेरे पास मनु पात्रा का citation है manu/GJ/2422/2022. This is a case of March of 2022. This was a case where the girl was a major. But the boy was minor, and she was already pregnant, and so the girl was sent to a women protection home till the boy attains majority. And since both had said that they were willing to reside together and continue their union together, so court noted that even if her parents were unhappy, upset, unpredictable, they requested the court that she should not be allowed to join the boy, but the court found no reason to deny or agree to their request, considering the fact that she was a major. तो इस केस में the जो girl जो थी वो major थी and the boy जो था वो minor था. तो कोर्ट ने बोला कि जैसे वो माइनर मेजर 2 महीने बाद वो मेजर होने वाला था. The boy was to become a major and attain the age of 21 years after 2 months. So the court says since she's already major, they didn't see any reason to deny them a matrimonial relationship. And then there was 1st of November 2021 का केस है रोहित मंडल वर्सेस स्टेट ऑफ झारखंड. इसका भी आया है मनु पात्रा citation which you can take. इसमें intercaste marriage का केस था and the boy belonged to scheduled caste. And the primary objection which the accused people had with the marriage, Kalyan ji ko neend aa rahi, which they had was only that this was an intercaste marriage and the boy belonged to scheduled caste. So this was the reason that the boy was murdered, and then there was a conviction under section 3(2) Roman 5 of the Scheduled Caste and Scheduled Tribe Prevention of Atrocities Act of 1989. Then there is a judgment of 2010, Dilip Premnarayan Triwari versus State of Maharashtra. This is 2010 1 SCC 775. In this case also the court noticed that the crime was in the nature of honor killing. तो जो डेथ सेंटेंस अवार्ड दिया था उसको कोर्ट ने रिड्यूस करा, सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने, टू इम्प्रिजनमेंट ऑफ लाइफ. देयर वर थ्री कॉन्विक्ट्स, तो 2 को दिया इम्प्रिजनमेंट और लाइफ विद द डायरेक्शन कि 25 इयर्स से पहले, 25 इयर्स के इम्प्रिजनमेंट से पहले दे विल नॉट बी released, and the 3rd convict was directed to undergo a sentence of 20 years. And death sentence से reduce करके commute करा था life imprisonment में, and the court considered their young age and also the fact that there were no criminal antecedents against these people. So because of that, they reduced the death sentence, commuted the death sentence to life. And then there was another judgment of 9th of May 2022. This is Dheeraj Gupta versus State of Madhya Pradesh. And इसमें so far as facts are concerned, I'll not go through the detailed facts. Just that FIR was registered under section 302, with 34 of the IPC. And on the same night when the sister of the appellant was found unconscious and there were injuries all over her, and later on she died. The trial court framed charges under 302 IPC for murder of these two, and in the alternative also for abetment. इस केस में मध्य प्रदेश हाई कोर्ट had made some observations which apart from the legal aspect, they seem to be an emotional outburst by the court. Court said that it was a case of honor killing and observed that it's a sorry state of affairs that the society at large still treats a girl as property and not as human being. मतलब आज भी बेटियों को this is a judgment of 2022 जिसमें court के observations हैं which actually really make us look inside us, that even today, despite there being so much development overall, we still, some part of our country still has a very, very regressive approach. And the High Court takes note of that and says that आज भी हमारी society में daughters, बेटियों को property माना जाता है and not really a human being. And it said that the girls are paraya dhan, or property of others, and the right to dispose of this property or paraya dhan lies in its owner. Being a property, the girl has no right to choose her own destiny or partner. If a girl dare to choose her partners, the members of her family do not hesitate to brutally assassinate their own blood. Their honor is too much to touch their hearts. Meaning they don't consider that the victim in such cases is their own blood. Somebody who looks up to them for protection. But in the name of honor, there is no hesitation in killing. तो कोर्ट ने ये बोला कि बेटियों को पराया धन मानते हैं, अभी भी प्रॉपर्टी मानते हैं, और उस प्रॉपर्टी को कैसे डिस्पोज ऑफ करना है ये राइट भी फैमिली अपने ऊपर लेती है कि अगर हमारी मर्जी से शादी होगा देन दैट इज एक्सेप्टेबल, अगर हमारी मर्जी के बियॉन्ड होगा तो कुछ भी करेंगे डिस्पाइट द फैक्ट कि वो आपका अपना बच्चा है. They don't mind killing. There are certain cases such as Vikas Yadav, which we just saw. There they didn't, the girl was not harmed, but the third person, the boy involved, was killed, and that also in such a brutal manner. So this is in all the cases, so far as the cases and the law which is prevalent in our country. But I guess we still have to go a long way to अभी भी बहुत लंबा रास्ता है जो we still need to overcome, despite the fact that we have laws in place, we have very progressive thinking judiciary in place. I mean, just look at this, that the girl was major and the boy was a minor who was going to be a major in 2 months' time. And the court said that yes, let the girl wait in a state-run establishment for those 2 months for the boy to become major so that they could move on with their life. Because the girl made a choice. And also in another case where the girl was a minor, and the court, despite a prayer by the father seeking custody of that minor girl, the court did not allow because the girl was apprehending. उसको बच्ची को डर था कि अगर मैं अपने पेरेंट्स के पास चली गई, अपने घर चली गई तो she may also be a victim of honor killing. तो कोर्ट ने उसको प्रोटेक्ट करने के लिए गवर्नमेंट रन एस्टैब्लिशमेंट में रखा, नारी निकेतन में रखा, मगर फैमिली को नहीं दिया एंड उसका रिस्पेक्ट किया, उसकी जो बच्ची की जो इच्छा थी उसका रिस्पेक्ट किया. And despite the fact that the girl was a minor, still They acknowledged the fact that she was married, and they said that it was a voidable marriage, which can be declared null and void at the instance of the victim, but not otherwise. So I guess that is what is honor killing, and I think I'll now, unless there are any questions, I would now let you go and have your Saturday evening. I'm sure even my office juniors must also be wanting me to keep quiet so that they can go. And so Kalyan ji ko to neend aa raha tha वैसे भी.
Very
So-
sorry for that, ma'am. We take it very sorry.
Saturday night, Saturday evening, Kalyan ji, you don't sleep. I'm sure you won't. Yes. Is there anything that
Jita Maitri, can you please?
Thank you, ma'am. I extend my high gratitude to you, ma'am. It has been a very wonderful session, ma'am, and thank you for sharing all your knowledge, and thank you for making us to gain the knowledge. Now I request over to Princey to give a vote of thanks. Over to you, Princey.
Thank you very much, Jita.
Can you please give chance to participants if any doubts they ask?
Okay. I request all the participants to get interacted with the speaker and share your doubts or thoughts regarding today's topic. So I welcome all the participants. If you have any doubts regarding today's topic, so please you can go ahead with the madam.
Actually, I think this topic is, more of a social evil. And so far as the legal aspect of it concerned, it's more about implementing the laws that we have, which are very much in place, and also a proactive judiciary, which also we have. And in fact, in one of the cases, I'm forgetting which one of the cases, the court really praised the police because police had played a very, very active and very constructive role. And the court had praised the police. So if we have a combination of conscientious citizens, जिनको अपने responsibility और अपने rights, mainly अपने rights के बारे में पता हो, और police, which is alert and conscious of their obligations, and yes, and also a proactive judiciary, which we already have. ये गुजरात का जो केस मैंने बताया था, लक्ष्मण भाई बाबर भाई राबरी, 7th of March 2022 का, this was the case जिसमें the court, okay, there was a female SHO in this case, and she played a very active role, and the court also praised the constructive role played by the police. Are you sure this was? So if we have cautious citizens, proactive police, progressive judiciary, I think we could be traveling towards finishing, completely eliminating at least this nature of crime. If anybody has any questions, please interrupt me. I'm speaking only because I'm waiting for the questions.
Ma'am, are there any precautions to avoid honor killing, ma'am?
Precautions, yes. The moment you feel there is anything of this kind happening, report it to the police, report it to media. Because there are laws in place. Like I said, there are IPC provisions, there are constitutional rights that we have. So there are provisions, there are laws in place, there are IPC offences which are made out. So report it to the police. And then, of course, if there is an issue of caste killing, then or not killing, you can say, maybe offences relating to caste, then of course we have SC/ST Act in place. So there are a number of provisions, statutory provisions, which are there to safeguard. The only thing is we need to act. And the moment you see anything, the moment you hear anything, report it. आजकल तो social media इतना active है. Social media पे जो आ जाए.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, please.
Ma'am, my question is that don't you think that these decisions taken by the Supreme Court against the honor killing, taking away the rights of parents over their children?
See, there has to be. Do you think the parents have a right to kill their children because they are the one who are responsible for giving them birth? No. Children these days, if you have a considered choice about your life, then there is a threshold to which the parents can exercise rights on their children. But उनको मार के तो right नहीं होता है. You can't kill your child, or you can't kill somebody that your child wants to spend the rest of the life with. This is way beyond exercising right. Of course, right है, क्यों नहीं? सही और गलत बताने का right है. Parents have a right to tell the child about what is right, what is wrong. But then at the end of the day, you have to give the child freedom to live his life, live his or her life its own way. आपको लगता है कि ये पेरेंट्स का हक होता है कि अगर नहीं मानी हमारी बात तो ओके बाय, we'll finish you up.
Okay, ma'am. On the one hand, if parents are nourishing their child from childhood, and this is a way of punishment. Likewise, the state giving punishment to us in the kind of death penalty.
Mhm. So
So,
do you think that parents can punish their child by giving a death penalty? Death penalty, there is a law. There is a law which allows the court, and there is a Supreme Court judgment which upheld the validity of the death penalty. Do you think a normal citizen, even if he is a parent, has a right to give death to a fellow citizen? Whether he's, अगर ये हम कहेंगे, तो then how do we differentiate between फिर अगर then why can't we extend it to a thief who enters our house, or anybody who fights with us on the road? It can't be. There are certain parameters which need to be followed. कोर्ट डेथ पेनल्टी देती है वो अलग बात है, बट कैन यू रियली इक्वेट इट कि जो पेरेंट्स डेथ पेनल्टी दें वो और जो कोर्ट दे एक ही बात है?
yeah, ma'am, at any circumstances, a person cannot be deprived of his life.
Correct, you're absolutely right, except for due process of
Somewhere,
law.
yeah, but ma'am, somewhere parents are losing command over their children.
You are right about that. You're absolutely right when you say that parents are losing control over their children. But I think we are in a progressive society, and the children are now they are much more exposed to a lot of things to which they were earlier not exposed, and they have their own thinking now. This has plus minus both. It has good consequences also, which are positive consequences, and there are negative consequences also. But taking away somebody's life, whether you call it honor killing or you call it punishment, that is something which is not acceptable, at least legally.
Okay,
You're
ma'am.
right about that. Parents are losing control, no doubt about it. But that is because the children today are exposed to much, much more than what the children of maybe 20 years from now or 30 years from now were exposed to, which has plus minuses both.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
For your valuable speech. So now over to Princey Devi to give a vote of thanks. To you, Princey.
Most valued invited guest, Miss Sonia Mathur ma'am. It's my privilege to propose a vote of thanks on this occasion. On behalf of our organizations and the entire students who are present here, and on my own behalf, extend a very hard vote of thanks for sharing your valuable views and to take out time from your busy schedule to grace the event today with us, which really helped us a lot and made us confident on this honor killing law. We hope that our organization needs more support in future from great personalities like you, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am, and thank you so much, students. And ma'am, one request: please share the PPT today's topic. Thank you so
Yes,
much,
yes.
ma'am.
I've already shared it with Kalyan. I request him to share it with everybody else, whoever wants to see it. And thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to talk to, young people, which makes me also feel young when I talk to younger lot. So thank you very
Thank you
much.
so much, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Friends.
Ma'am, you also look young.
Thank you, ma'am.
Expect your thoughts.
Thank you.
Thanks to all the participants for making this webinar successful. Thank you, ma'am, and wishing a pleasant evening to you all.
Thank you.